I am 61 years of age, and following the closure of our small business, I find myself for the first time in my life in need of government assistance. I have been granted the Newstart allowance, which, including energy supplement and rent assistance, comes to a total of $574.20 a fortnight. Whilst I understand that Newstart is supposed to be a short-term assistance, but for someone of my age, it is likely to be a much longer process to get a job. I have already applied for over 200. I've had to borrow from family just to keep a roof over my head. Mr. Shorten, what is your party going to do to help those in my predicament?
Thanks, Lilian, for your question. Lilian describes a whole lot of forgotten people in Australia. Did you know that in Australia, if you're over 55, your average period of unemployment is twice as long? There is age discrimination in Australian workplaces. Now, that's not going to worry some of the, the school students up the front, not for many years. But there are many of our fellow Australians who've been dislocated by change, and no one will give them a job. So we announced yesterday a new measure that all small businesses who have a turnover of less than $10 million, we'll give them a 30% deduction on their tax when they hire someone over 55 who's been unemployed for longer than 3 months. On a Saturday or a Sunday, I do the shopping in the house. It's my one way to sort of make up for the fact that I'm doing, not around a lot of the other time. But the number of times that I've seen really well-dressed people, immaculately presented, a bit like Lilian, who we saw on the video. They've got their CV in a plastic sleeve, and they say, you can see the sting of rejection in their eyes. They say, why doesn't anyone want to give us a go? So what we've done is put a specific measure on the table which will reward companies for investing in older people. Lilian also made a point about how low the Newstart is. We're going to review it when we come in, because it is too low.
So what's your aim when you review it? It's obviously, we're looking at big spending initiatives from you at the moment. You're going to add an expansion of Newstart on top of that.
Tony,
how much will it cost?
Tony, you're using the sort of language of the Conservatives there, big spending. Lilian is getting about $265 a week. Let's not dehumanise her.
Hang on. Why do you need a review?
No.
Do you know anyone that could live?
Wait a sec, Tony.
Do you know? First of all, just to answer this, do you know anyone who could live off Newstart?
Tony, you get to ask me one question at a time. I'll answer it as quick as possible. You said big spending, demonise. That woman is living on $265 a week. Now, we say it's a temporary benefit. That is true till you get a job. But when you're an older Australian, your waiting period's twice as long. I do not know the number we will come up with at the end of the review, but I'm not reviewing it to keep it the way it is.
You will be increasing it. Is that what you're saying?
I think common sense says that a review is going to conclude that that amount is too low. I won't preempt it, but I'm not having a review to cut it. And again, this language of big spending. It's not as if this government's not spending money. It's who they're spending it on. I just went to check when we talk about the negative gearing. We're spending $35 billion in the next 10 years to help subsidise property investors who haven't even bought their property yet. Yet we can't find enough to help Lilian, who's been working and at 61 on the rough end of change. It's about priorities. But when you say big spending, let's tell the truth here. This government is spending money. They spend it in tax cuts, $77 billion for the top tier of tax earners. They spent 3 years trying to give away $80 billion to the big end of town and corporate tax cuts. This government will spend money, but when it comes to a woman on $265 a week, we got to better check that. We better send her a robo-debt letter from Centrelink. We better police her within an inch of her life.
She would like to know.